Okay, let's jump right into this. How is Talabat completely dominating food delivery while a massive, well-funded global giant like Uber Eats has historically struggled to turn a profit? Look, here's what most people get totally wrong about this space. Talabat is undeniably the heavyweight champion in the Middle East, right? But it's not some magic startup printing cash every single day just because everyone uses it. And on the flip side, Uber Eats isn't just happily lighting billions of dollars on fire forever, either. After years of really aggressive expansion, Uber's delivery arm is only just slowly grinding its way toward profitability in some of its more mature markets. So, the differing fates of these two giants? It's not about who has the slickest marketing, or the deepest pockets, or even the biggest global footprint. No, it all comes down to a hidden, absolute bloodbath of a logistics war.
So, we really have to ask ourselves, what's actually happening here? Think about it. We're looking at the exact same industry, serving the exact same types of hungry customers, and using largely the exact same foundational tech. Yet, the outcomes are worlds apart. I want you to completely shift your mindset right now. Seriously, stop viewing food delivery as just some colorful app on your phone where you tap a button at midnight and boom, a burger magically appears on your doorstep. That's just the shiny storefront. What you are actually interacting with is a highly complex, fiercely competitive, physical supply chain.
But hey, before we completely pull back the curtain on this logistics war, welcome back. I really hope you all enjoyed our previous explainer, Amazon Pricing Revealed, where we dug into the crazy algorithmic magic behind e-commerce pricing. If you're new here, we are absolutely thrilled to have you. Do us a quick favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell icon to join our community of supply chain insiders. You definitely want to stay ahead of the curve, and if you haven't checked out that Amazon Pricing Explainer yet, you gotta watch it right after this one.
All right, Section 1, the food delivery illusion.
To understand how a company truly dominates, we have to look past the software and look at the physical reality of the business. And Talabat's journey, it is genuinely fascinating. They are now an absolute powerhouse in the Middle East and North Africa. But get this, they were founded in Kuwait way back in 2004. Think about that for a second. They were trying to figure out online food delivery years before the iPhone even existed. Crazy, right? They steadily expanded across the GCC and neighboring markets, which eventually caught the eye of the global giant delivery hero, who bought them in 2016. Today they have a massive regional presence, and that specific geography is absolutely intentional.
Just look at this concentrated footprint. The UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, Jordan, and Iraq. They didn't try to just blindly conquer the whole globe all at once. Instead, they built this tight, hyper-focused regional dominance. This specific concentration gives Talabat a home court advantage that is incredibly difficult for outside competitors to break into.
But here's the kicker. What really cements their dominance is that Talabat isn't just a food delivery company anymore. They've morphed into a complete ecosystem. We're talking restaurants, sure, but also grocery delivery, pharmacy delivery in certain markets, and rapid quick commerce partnerships. That means getting convenience items to your door in like 15 minutes or less. Now, first glance, you might think, okay, lots of apps do that, but there's a very specific calculated logic to why Talabat actually pulls this off.
And it comes down to this. Talabat's real advantage isn't what it delivers, it's where it delivers. They operate in highly connected, dense urban markets. When you pack huge populations, specific consumer behaviors, and massive delivery demand into one concentrated area, you create the literal perfect environment for logistics optimization. And trust me, optimizing logistics is the only real way you make money in this game.
Which brings us to Section 2, the reality of revenue.
Let's completely shatter the illusion that these platforms just pocket that $2 delivery fee you pay and call it a day. The business model is way more complex than that, built on 4 main revenue streams. First up, restaurant commissions. Restaurants are paying anywhere from roughly 15 to 35% depending on the market and their volume. This is the big moneymaker. Second is the delivery fee UK. But honestly, that gets eaten up incredibly fast paying for the driver, ground ups, and tech. It's not pure profit. Third, and this is huge, is advertising. Restaurants literally pay to show up higher when you search the app. Since this is basically just software real estate, the profit margins are fantastic. And finally, subscriptions. These programs give users cheaper delivery, but the brilliant part is they lock you into the ecosystem and make you order way more often.
But here is the stark reality you need to take away from this explainer today. Food delivery, it is not naturally a high-margin business. It is punishingly expensive to run. Your survival literally hinges on 4 things: delivery density, relentless operational efficiency, route optimization, and market maturity. The platforms that survive aren't always the ones bringing in the most gross revenue. They're the ones managing their brutal operational costs the best.
Okay, moving on to Section 3, the unit economics battle.
This right here is exactly why Uber Eats historically struggled while Talabat crushed it. It boils down to unit economics. Basically, are you actually making a profit on one single solitary delivery? Uber Eats' historical playbook was massive, aggressive global expansion across dozens of completely different countries. That meant burning cash on enormous marketing campaigns, massive incentives for drivers and users, and dealing with incredibly tangled operational headaches. Growth came first, profitability had to wait. Now look at Talabat. Totally different playbook. Concentrated regional focus, high-density urban centers, reduced complexity. By not spreading themselves paper-thin across the globe, Talabat squeezed out far better driver utilization and insane delivery efficiency.
Let's just pause and really absorb this quote. The winner is the company that can deliver those orders most efficiently. It's not about who gets the most orders. It's about how much it costs to actually fulfill them. Think about it. Every single extra minute a driver is just standing around waiting for cold fries, every unnecessary kilometer they drive because the app gave them a bad route, those costs add up blindingly fast. In food delivery, tiny little efficiencies turn into massive market-dominating advantages when you scale them up.
Section 4. Why Talabat works so well in the GCC. So, Talabat has these massive structural advantages in the GCC that literally supercharges its model. First off, highly dense urban markets. We're talking cities like Dubai, Kuwait City, Doha, Manama. People and restaurants are packed close together. Shorter distances mean faster drop-offs, which means more deliveries per driver per shift. Second, the delivery culture there is just incredible. Consumers adopted app-based ordering at an astonishing rate, backed by super high smartphone usage and digital payments. And third, operational similarity. While every country has its own vibe, a lot of the GCC shares similar consumer habits, regulations, and business setups. This shared DNA lets Talabat copy-paste its winning formula across borders without having to reinvent the wheel every single time.
Now, the competition is fierce, and a lot of apps try to win by just throwing endless cash at you. Discounts, promos, endless free delivery. But here is the hard truth. Sure, discounts generate growth, but profitable growth? That is a whole different beast. Relying on discounts is totally unsustainable. Talabat figured out pretty early on that eventually people stop asking, hey, which app has the best promo code today, and start asking, which app is actually going to get my food here hot and on time? By prioritizing long-term trust and just being flawlessly reliable, they built a real business, not just a subsidized illusion.
All right, Section 5, the ultimate logistics advantage.
We need to talk about the true back-end moat of this business. Talabat isn't just moving food around. With every single order, they are vacuuming up a massive trove of logistics intelligence. Just listen to what they're tracking. Hyperlocal demand patterns, peak ordering times down to the exact minute, the best physical routes based on real-world traffic, deep customer habits, and exactly how fast a specific restaurant prepares a meal. Over time, all this data feeds straight back into the machine. The route planning gets tighter, the forecasting gets sharper, the platform literally becomes smarter every single day. That is their real moat, not a colorful logo, not a catchy ad. It's a self-improving, data-driven logistics network.
So I want to leave you with a final thought to really shift how you view this industry. In modern supply chains, information is often more valuable than infrastructure. Let that sink in. Talabat doesn't own the kitchens, they don't grow the ingredients, and they rely on a flexible fleet of drivers. But they own the information. They know exactly how to connect point A to point B faster, cheaper, and more reliably than anyone else in their region. And in today's digital economy, owning that information is the ultimate key to absolute dominance.
I really hope this explainer totally changed how you look at that little app on your home screen. Now, for our next explainer, we're going to dive into another massive, mind-bending transformation, Saudi Vision 2030. We'll be looking at how Saudi Arabia is aggressively reshaping its entire economy, overhauling its logistics, and building some truly futuristic infrastructure. You absolutely do not want to miss that one.
If you found this explainer helpful, please take a quick second to interact with the channel. Give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so we can keep exploring the wild world of supply chains, tech, and global business strategies together. Thank you so much for hanging out and learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.